Soft glints floating like embers on a slow and gentle tide. Rusty docks and lantern shadows where the cold waves gently glide. In the dust between the storm fronts, where the shadows leave their marks, lies a glowing gentle refuge called the Harbor of Sparks.
I walk through fog-wrapped boardwalks where the ships refuse to stay, where the ghosts cry through the nightfall like they lost their only way. Every railing creak with stories sunk beneath the timid waves. Every lantern flickered softly like a heartbeat trying to save.
Then your voice rose through the harbor like a fire in disguise, casting small electric glimmers over all my tired sides.
You were warmth along the shoreline, you were flaming salted air, you were spark inside the darkness, telling me you still were there.
Let the quiet docks illumine, let the night breathe slow and dark.
Every whispered vow we're choosing feeds this harbor of small sparks.
Harbor of sparks, glowing where the cold winds roam, tiny lights that guide my trembling soul, toward home when the waves erase the paths and silence bars.
You remain my quiet harbor of sparks.
I've been drifting near the shipyards where the storms come to recall all the memories I buried in the tide's relentless crawl.
But your harmony ignited little lights that wouldn't fade, turn the darkest winter shoreline into warmth the dusk had made.
You're the glimmer in the mist, girl, you're the flare beneath my ribs, you're the lantern by the jetty where forgiveness roughly lives. When our voices blend like fireflies above the restless arcs, every lonely pier is glowing in a harbor full of sparks.
Let the rusted docks illumine, let the night inhale the dark. Every vow our hearts are choosing fuels this harbor built of sparks.
Harbor of sparks,
Shining through the drifting cold, little flames that help the timid truth unfold. When the waves erase the footprints on our hearts, we still glow together, harbor of sparks. Let the scent shimmer like lanterns, swaying gently in the breeze. Let the paths hum like the ocean, clapping quietly at the knees. I will rest upon the jetty where the twilight softly arcs. If your whisper lights my daylight in this harbor full of sparks.
let the bass roll like the low tide when the moon begins to climb. Let my verses pulse like beacons in the waves we leave behind. When the fog begins to thicken and your courage briefly darks, I'll be flame beside your flame. Harbor of sparks.
Harbor of sparks, glowing strong against the cold, faint but fearless where our trembling truths unfold. Through the storms that leave their shadows and their marks, we remain alight, our harbor of sparks. Harbor of sparks, burning gentle yet alive. Every tiny flare reminding us we'll rise. Shine by sea, tiny lights that carry me where the night forgets its dark. Go
fleeting silver light. I breathe in dust, but I'm still alive. Heartbeat echoes through the wire, little wings against the fire.
They built these towers over dreams, painted hope on broken beams. Still I rise above the sound of a city that forgot the ground.
Every crack becomes a vein of gold. Every scar, a story told. I flooded through the noise unheard. I'm the concrete hummingbird.
Fly, fly, through the storm tonight. Sing, sing, till the neon dies.
Love, love in a cage of steel, but my heart still beats. My wings still heal. Walking through the jungle made of stone, still I hear the spirit's tone. From the fire, melody rise humble. Truth in the rhythm make the system crumble. City lights blind, but the soul still see. Freedom chant echo endlessly. Iron and smoke can't bury we. The bird of hope still flying free.
Every crack becomes a vein of gold. Every scar a story told. We flooded through the noise unheard with a concrete hummingbird. Fly, fly,
Yeah.
through the storm tonight. Sing, sing, till the neon dies.
Love, love in a cage of steel, but our hearts still beat. Our wings still heal. Yeah.
Can you hear the low vibration? A song beyond the separation, where mercy lives and colors blooming. Cracks between the walls of gloom.
Concrete crumbles, so rebirth. From the dust comes strength and worth. Lift up the weak, give voice to pain. Turn every tear to healing rain.
Fly, fly, my hummingbird divine. Sing, sing,
Yeah.
let your spirit shine.
Love, love in the heart of fear.
The sound of freedom's crystal clear. Oh, fly, little hummingbird in the sky. Concrete can hold what's meant to rise. Whoa. Still here.
Lantern silhouettes flicker wild along the purple evening stones. Soft percussion in the alleys made of laughter, feet and tones. In the secret nighttime gathering where the moon and fears embezzle, lies the pulse of hidden rivers. Shadow festival.
I have wandered through the back streets where the lonely hide their glow, where the unlit corners echo steps of days that move too slow. Every dusk was painted quiet, every fear a stubborn wall, every joy a thread of music hard too faint for me to call.
Then your voice rose through the twilight like a drum inside the dark, like a spark of stolen magic lighting up the somber rock. You were rhythm in my emptiness, you were shimmer in my doubt. You were invitation whispered, girl, it's time to dance it out.
Let the shadows shape their stories. Let the night become our shell. Every step in secret glory joins the Shadow Festival. Shadow Festival. Shadow Festival. Glowing in the midnight haze. Silent dancing, lifting up forgotten days. When my courage felt too fragile to rebel, you revived my pulse. My Shadow Festival.
I've been moving through the evening, where the broken gather slow, where the lamplight eyes the bruises that our daytime tries to show. But your laughter hit the pavement like a drum of pure release. Turn the alleys into playgrounds, turn my fears to overdue peace.
You're the lantern in my ribcage. You're the beating bar all night. You're the dance that shakes the cobwebs from the corners of my fright. When our harmonies go swirling through the starless citadel, every lonely heart starts beating. Shadow Festival.
Let the shadows write their stories.
Let our footsteps cast a spell. Every move in hidden glory keeps the Shadow Festival. Shadow Festival. Shadow Festival. Rising in the twilight's kiss. Midnight carnival where broken souls exist. When the world forgets the music in our shell, we ignite the dark. Our Shadow Festival.
Let the scents pulse like the lantern, swing gently from the beams. Let the paths hum like the secrets flowing through forgotten dreams. I will dance beside your echo in the alleys where I fell, knowing you will hold the rhythm of our Shadow Festival.
Let the bass drop like a heartbeat under dim and dusty skies. Let my verses move like dancers who have learned from their goodbyes. When your spirit dims to silence and your courage starts to quell, I'll be drum beneath your feet. Shadow Festival. Shadow Festival. Blazing in our hidden space. Midnight revel born from sorrow's quiet grace. Through the alleys where the grief used to dwell, we reclaim the night. Our shadow.
Hey, oh. Hey, oh. Hey, oh.
Rain like static on the window, clouds like curtains drawn in grief. Thunder humming low and constant, promising no quick relief. Yet behind the bruised horizon, something tender starts to loom. There's a hidden glowing garden called the stormlight bloom.
I've been watching angry weather build its castle over me. Every lightning flash a headline of the things I'll never be. Every raindrop like a warning, typed in code across the glass. Every gust another whisper that my joy would never last.
Then your timber struck the silence with a note both wild and pure, like a seed inside the thunder, like a remedy unsure. You were color in the cloud bank, you were green through all the gray. You were blossom in the blackout, you were dawn inside decay.
Let the dark sky crack and shiver, let the cold wind howl and loom. I can feel a secret river feeding roots beneath the gloom. Stormlight bloom. opening inside the rain. Petals glowing through the thunder and the pain. When the whole sky feels like one enormous swoon, you unfold in quiet stormlight bloom. I was raised where tempests linger, like a rumor in the air, where the shutters creak and rattle with the weight of old despair. But I learned to read the lightning like a script of hidden signs, and I saw your silhouette there, growing bright between the lines.
You're the garden in the blackout, you're the color in the flood, you're the vine that climbs the sirens, you're the rose inside the mud. When your melody comes dancing through the rumble of the drums, every broken piece of weather turns to rhythm as it comes.
Let the dark sky crack and shiver, let the howling winds resume. There is more than wreck and river, there is life in every boom. Stormlight bloom, opening inside the rain. Petals glowing through the thunder and the pain. When the whole sky feels like one enormous wound, we still grow in gentle stormlight bloom.
Let the synth swell like horizons under pressure, under strain. Let the kick feel like the raindrops hitting roofs again, again. I will stand inside the downpour with this fragile shattered heart, trusting you to be the sunlight stitched in every falling part.
Let the bass roll like the thunder, but with mercy in its tone. Let my verses be the rules that won't abandon broken stone.
When you think the sky is broken and the flood will never end, I'll be garden in the shadows, I'll be bloom, I'll be your friend.
Stormlight bloom,
Shining through the endless rain, soft resistance to a universe of pain. When the whole sky feels like one enormous wound,
we rise slow in quiet stormlight bloom.
Stormlight bloom in the darkest, loudest night. We are petals made of music, made of light. Through the thunder and the crack of every doom, love survives as secret stormlight bloom.
Grow in the road, little light on the flooded floor. When the storm is through the room, still you open, stormlight bloom. Oh, 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 yeah, 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 oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Porch light on a crooked lane, mailbox rusted with unclaimed names. Yet you stand and guard this door, waiting till the light comes home.
You keep keys in a weathered bowl, one for every wandering soul who left with plans they couldn't share, promising they'd soon be there.
Seasons drift and numbers change, faces fade and roots rearrange. Still you hum that fateful tone, door stays unlocked till light comes home. Until the light comes home, you won't close the gate. You'll be there with stories, even if they're late. For every lost traveler who forgot they're not alone, you'll keep the fire burning until the light faint perfume. Postcards vanish in the gloom. Yet you bake too many plates, just in case tonight they're late.
Some may never cross that street. Still you set an extra seat. Hope itself becomes your own as you wait until the light comes home.
Until the light comes home, you won't close the gate. You'll be there with stories, even if they're late.
When at last the shadow finds its old known stone, you wrap them up and welcome light came home. Oh, yo, 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 yo,
Angel statues chipped and worn, marble faces cracked and torn, holiness in disarray lays. Still we call it fallen grace.
You believed you had to shine, never stumble, never whine, but your halo slipped one day, rolled along the kitchen clay. Tears spilled down like sacred wine on the floor of your design. Yet in every shattered trace lived a deeper fallen grace. Fallen grace, lying on the ground, not in stained glass windows, but in common sound. When our glory crashes in a messy place, love bends low to gather all our fallen grace.
Scars like maps on a restless chest, proof of battles that stole your rest. You thought brokenness would always sting, never dreamed wounds could turn to wings.
Every cut a quiet mark, signed by nights that felt too dark. Yet you kept a little flame hidden under all that pain. Pressure carved a secret shape along the edges you tried to tape. Out of tears and fractured things grew the outline of your wings. Wounds turn to wings,
Lifting you above,
every heart rewritten
by a stubborn love.
You were never powerless,
Only in the mending.
now you rise on. Wounds turn to wings unending.
People said you were too much, softness twisted out of touch. But gentle hearts can still be steel, carrying feathers you can't feel.
If you're lying on the floor, saying you can't anymore, wait until the morning sings. You're already growing wings. Wounds turn to wings,
Lifting you above,
every heart rewritten.
by a stubborn love.
Let the past unravel.
Let the future sing.
You're no longer broken. You're flying on your
One small match in a field of gray, tiny spark in a world of clay. Yet a single humming within can become a wildfire.
You sang soft when no one heard, just a trembling, shaking word. But the quiet caught the flame, carried echoes of your name.
Every timid melody holds a buried energy. Give your fragile voice to wine, watch it turn to wildfire hymn, wildfire hymn, racing through the dark, catching on the dry hearts, leaving holy marks. What began a whisper, now the mountains grin, burning with the glory of a wildfire. Yo 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 yo. Oh yo 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 yo. People jaded, screens turned low. Then your song began to glow. Broken souls in alley light found their courage overnight.
If you think your tune's too small for the weight of all this war, start to sing and let it spin. You might spark the next one.
boots on holy dusty ground. Sacred trouble all around. Rules were written to keep us down. Now we walk as heaven's outlaws.
We were told to sit in line, fold our questions, stay confined. But our hearts tore through the seams, chasing wild and honest dreams.
If love breaks the shallow mold, then we won't do what we're told. When compassion breaks the jars, we'll be counted heaven's outlaws.
Heaven's outlaws, running with the grace. Too rough and raw for a polished place. If the kingdom lies beyond the laws, we'll be dancing free. Heaven's outlaws. Heaven's outlaws. We hug strangers, we forgive foes. We give away what the system owes. We sing mercy over blame, unimpressed with glitter fame.
If rebellion means to care for the ones left in despair,
Then arrest our reckless cause. We're delighted to be heaven's outlaws. Heaven's outlaws, running with the grace. Too rough and raw for a polished place. When the streets need prophets without gods, they'll be led by laughter. Heaven's outlaws. Heaven's
soft refracted beams of color, bending deep in cavern stone, echoes bouncing like forgotten prayers aching to be known. Hidden past the glittered hallways, where the fragile spirits trudge, lies a shelter carved in brilliance, called the Crystal Refuge.
I've been hiding in the caverns where my thoughts turn into frost, where the silence carves its sculpture from the words that once were lost. Every echo mirrored heartbreak, every drip a lullaby, every stalactite a warning that my tears would never dry.
Then your voice came like a phosphor, lighting up the shadow dome, painting prisms in the darkness, turning stone to gentle hope.
You were shimmering in the hollows, you were gleaming icy hush, you were sanctuary glowing where my courage feared to rush.
Let the caverns hum their secrets, let the echoes break their grudge.
In the hush where light redirects the signs, the quiet crystal refuge. Crystal refuge glowing where my shadows hide. Cold reflections melting warmth into my stride. When the hollow in my chest becomes too huge, you restore my calm, my crystal refuge. your harmony came glinting like a gem beneath the shade, turning all my muted sorrows into brilliance that prevails.
You're the glimmer in the darkness, you're the sheen on every tear. You're the luminous reminder I don't have to drown in fear.
When our voices fill the caverns like a song the stones begrudge, every frozen piece is softened by the crystal refuge.
Let the caverns lose their secret,
let the warmth undo their grudge. Through the beams that gently meet us leaves our shared crystal refuge. Crystal refuge shining in the caverns deep, gentle glow that warms the wounds we used to keep. When the hollow in our spirits feels too huge, we find shelter in our crystal refuge. Let the scents reflect like prisms, scattering all quiet dread. Let the paths hum like the chambers where our wildest hopes are fed. I will rest within this cavern, carved by time and tempered truth, knowing you are glow beside me, guiding me through dark and youth. Let the bass move like a tremor, rising softly from the core. Let my verses echo gently down the halls we feared before. When your brightness starts to dim and doubts begin to smudge, I'll be light along your course, your crystal refuge. Crystal refuge glowing fierce within the stone, soft cathedral where we never stand alone. Through the hollows where our hardest fears intrude, we stay shining, our crystal refuge. Crystal refuge bending light we never knew, turning frost to glowing shades of blue. In the halls where old illusions come unglued, we stand clear, our crystal refuge.
shine so pure.
Through the ache I still endure, in the glow no dark can judge.
Keep
Somewhere the silence hums your name. The wind remembers just the same. I see our light in stories told. I still hear your echoes of gold.
you walk through fire, calm and slow. Left your footprints where rivers flow. Now the sky holds what you sow. Your voice becomes my cord of gold.
Every loss is just disguise for something holy in the skies. Even pain can still unfold into echoes made of gold. Shine through
translate.
Me carry memory like flame. Each spark still call your name. Time can't steal what love beholds.
Them echoes made of gold.
Every loss is just disguise for something holy in the skies. Even pain can still unfold into echoes made of gold. Shine through us though you are gone. Turn our tears to morning song. Love don't fade, it just grows old. Singing echoes of gold. The light you left became my guide. 1,000 suns within my mind. Every breath your story told, still burning. Echoes of gold.
Me feel the warmth on my soul at night, like Jack candle pure and bright. Shadow fall but truth still hold. The world still on them.
Shine through us though you are gone. Turn our tears to morning song. Every heart your flame console. Forever echoes of gold. I see your light unfold. Forever echoes of gold. Whoa, yo, 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 yeah.
City finally loses breath. Streetlights blinking quiet there. Somewhere in the slowing skies waits the silence before sunrise.
Cabs grow scarce on the empty road. Bars spill out one final load. Yet between the last goodbye, there's a hush that holds the sky.
In that pause where nothing moves, troubled minds can start to soothe.
Darkness loosens its disguise in the silence before sunrise.
Silence before sunrise, fragile paper thin, soft enough for bruised hearts to begin.
Oh, if the day feels heavy when it finally arrives, remember how you breathe in the silence before sunrise.
We lie still on a crumpled bed, tracing futures in our heads, unsure what the light will bring, but we hear forgiveness sing.
Hold this moment like a prayer. Let it rinse the crowded air. Tomorrow may demand its prize, but tonight we have the silence before sunrise.
Silence before sunrise, fragile paper thin, soft enough for bruised hearts to begin.
Oh, when the clocks resume their ruthless stride.
these stories ending wrong. Half-finished books and broken songs. Yet in the ruins of our greed, something small, the heart still believes.
You've watched heroes lose their way, trusted guys just slip away. Promises that once felt sure crumbled into ash and pure.
Yeah, beneath the cynic stone lies a child not turned to stone. Even after all these thieves, there's a force that still believes. The heart still believes, even when it's torn, even when its faith has been laughed and scorned. You can bury hope under shattered dreams, but deep in the dark, the heart still believes.
The heart still believes. You wake up and wash your face. Tell yourself I'll just embrace simple days without big light. Yet you wish on stars at night. It's not weakness to remain open after so much pain. It's a quiet, stubborn seed growing where the heart still believes.
The heart still believes, even when it's torn, even when its faith has been laughed and scorned. Through 1,000 endings and unspoken pleas, love keeps breathing where the heart still believes. Scars like mops on a restless chest, proof of battles that stole your rest. You thought brokenness would always sting, never dreamed wounds could turn to wings.
Every cut a quiet mark, signed by nights that felt too dark. Yeah, you kept a little flame hidden under all that pain. Pressure carved a secret shape along the edges you tried to tape. Out of tears and fractured things grew the outline of your wings.
Wounds turn to wings, lifting you above. Every hurt rewritten by a stubborn love. You were never powerless, only in the mending. Now you rise on wounds, turn to wings unending. People said you were too much, softness twisted out of touch. Soft-lit breezes waving pigment through the fading amber sky. Feathers drifting like small lanterns, carried where the dusk glows by. High above the quiet treetops, where the trembling shadows grow, floats a fragile living brightness called the wind-born glow.
Warming all the wilted petals of the doubts I used to wear.
You were glow on fading daylight, you were spark on cooling skin, you were wind-born reassurance, blowing warmth back in.
Let the breezes lift our tremors, let the dusk release its woe. In the hush of evening embers lives a soft wind-born glow.
Wind-born glow,
Carried through the silent breeze, gentle radiance that settles all unease. When my fear begins to rise or overflow, you return my breath, my wind-born glow.
Chill consumes the plain, where the winds picked up my sorrow and returned it once again. But your harmony came drifting like a lantern through the cold, painting warmth across my heartbeat where the frost refused to hold.
You're the shimmer in my ribcage, you're the warmth in winter's throe, you're the blaze that floats on breezes when I need a tender glow.
When our voices rise together on the wind that's soft and slow, every shadow learns to brighten in the wind-born glow.
Let the breezes calm our tremors, let the dust forget its woe. In the hush of fading embers lives our shared wind-born glow. Wind-born glow, drifting through our weary chains, breathing warmth where cold once stole our rest. When the storms inside our silence overflow, we find shelter in our wind-born glow.
Let the paths move like the breezes swirling softly through the pines. Let the Sims hum like horizon where the fading daylight shines. I will rise on every current, carrying courage high and low, knowing you will catch each flicker of my wind-born glow.
Let the bass float like a heartbeat, rising gently on the breeze. Let my verses fly like sparrows, learning new ecstatic ease.
When your glow begins to tremble and your spirit turns to slow, I'll be wind beneath your ember, your wind-born glow.
Wind-born
beauty breathing slow tonight.
Every shadow dressed in light. In the silence I awoke,
Wrapped inside a halo of smoke. I saw your eyes through ember rain.
a spark of peace, a hint of pain. We met between the pulse and choke, two hearts under a halo of smoke.
Every whisper fades and burns. Every lesson slowly turns. I'm not lost, just letting go in this halo made of smoke.
Breathe me in, don't let me fade. Love's the fire that we both made. In the dark, the truth awoke under our halo of smoke.
Misstep through miss where memory hides. Still hear your name on the city side. Me call your soul through the static come. Echo me, echo, we become one.
Light in the haze, my spirit spoke. You and I, the halo of smoke.
Every whisper fades and burns. Every sinner somehow learns. We still shine where angels choke inside this halo of smoke.
Breathe me in, don't let me fade. Love's the fire that we both made. In the dark, the truth awoke under our halo of smoke.
Drift through the static, the glow, the decay. We find what we're lost in a world gone gray. Hands of dust, but hearts still woke. Holding tight a halo of smoke. Holding tight a halo of smoke.
May see the dawn behind the veil. Love still strong when faith look frail. Ash to ash, but Jah still spoke. Rise again from the halo of smoke.
Breathe me in, don't let me fade. Love's the fire that we both made. Through the ashes we invoke life again, our halo of smoke.
Our halo of smoke. Our halo of smoke.
City face,
City face.
heart still low. We disappear in a halo of smoke. Soft green tremors blooming on the vines that curl like sighs. Golden pollen drifting gently through the warm unbroken skies. Past the gates where ancient forests, breathing sacred hidden, lives a heartbeat made of wonder, pulse of Eden.
I have wandered through the orchards where forgotten flowers weep, where the roots reclaim the pathways lovers carved in nights too deep. Every petal held a secret, every stem a quiet plea, every breeze a hush of something that once meant the world to me.
Then your voice came like a river, flowing through a garden lost, turning wilted memories verdant, thawing gently winter's frost. You were
when your branches